What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be playing with the new Kiss X Glamlite collection. It is finally here after months and months of dangling this in front of us with lots of teasers and color story reveals and all of that. It is finally here. Now, I did not pick up the entire collection. I did pick up the eyeshadow palette because I feel like this is always the star of the show, and I also picked up the black and white eyeshadow bases because I was really curious to see how these were going to work, how these were going to hold up and perform, and what the formula was like. So let's go ahead, and before we start creating our looks, I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on this collection. But let's go ahead and start with the eyeshadow palette. So this is the Kiss X Glamlite eyeshadow palette. This is the box that it comes in, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I really love the way that it encaptures the band. It encaptures like the 70s and the 80s. And then if you open her up, we have in here a picture of the band as well as the palette, which does have the lenticular motion on the front, and I absolutely love it. But let me go ahead and show you what this palette looks like. So this is a 20 pan palette, and it has this little overlay over it that I think is super cute with like the flames and everything. But this is our color story. So this is a 20 pan palette. We do have a mixture of mattes and shimmers. We've got purples, greens, blues. We have a black, we have a white, we've got red, we've got some neutrals. I really enjoy this color story. It is on the mid-tone and darker side, which is pretty normal for Glamlite. We don't usually get a whole lot of lighter shades. So if you need something lighter to use with this, you might want to bring in another palette. This would be really good to pair with a pastel palette if you have one in your collection. But this palette does retail for $36, and this, as well as everything else in the collection, is currently still available on their website. I will link and list everything down below, as well as everything that I use in this video, what I'm wearing, and all of that. So if you're curious about any of it, just check that description box. I put as much information down there as I possibly can. But this is the eyeshadow palette. I'm excited. We are going to create 4 looks using this palette, but let's continue on with what else is in this collection. So we also have the black and white eyeshadow bases as well. This retails for $14, and these are good size little eyeshadow bases. Let me see if I can, I know it pulls open. There we go, because I did it earlier. So you pull it out, and here are our 2 little tubes of eyeshadow bases. These are 15 milliliters a piece, or 0.504 fluid ounces. So you do get quite a bit of product in here, and I'm excited to try these. I don't believe, to my knowledge, that this is anything that Glamlite has ever done before. But let me tell you what the rest of the collection includes. So this collection also includes a Kiss X Glamlite Lenticular Motion makeup bag for $35, the Lick It Up lip kit for $14, the mascara duo for $16, and a mirror for $26. You can purchase the full collection with the PR box for $120, or you can get the full collection without the PR box for $99. But keep in mind that none of these collections include the Lenticular Motion makeup bag, so that is sold separately. So if you're interested in that and you order one of the collections, keep in mind that you do have to order the bag separately. But I'm excited about this. I think it's cute. I'm glad it's finally here. I do love Kiss. I grew up with a lot of 70s and 80s like hair bands, rock bands, and I love it. I'm here for it. I do really enjoy Kiss. But let me go ahead and zoom you in just a little bit, and we will get started with our 4 looks. Alright, so I have already primed my eyes using my Sigma eyeshadow base. For the first 2 looks, I just want to use my normal eyeshadow base, and then for the second 2, we'll use the black for one and the white for another. But let's go ahead and get started with our first look. What do we want to play with? I really want to play with the purples. You know I do, and I really want to play with this red as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with this shade right here. It is called the Star Child. How absolutely appropriate. And I'm going to go in with a Game Beauty E06 brush, and I'm just going to pick this up and fluff it into my crease. Okay. That looks nice. That's going on just as I expect it to. I do really enjoy the Glamlite formula. I really like it. It's a nice one. I love their price point. I wish they would kind of get back to doing more of like their original collections than so many IP collabs. And I kind of wish they would slow down a little bit. Like, we just get so many collections thrown at us so fast. It can be really hard to keep up, and you can get really burned out on them as well. But that looks nice. I like that. I'm not having any patching, any grabbing, or anything like that. It laid down really nicely. It kind of fluffed itself out. So if you go in with a light hand with this color, you can get a really nice transition shade, but it does build up and deepen really well also. But let's go ahead and do, what do I want to deepen this up with? Okay, we're gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Dynasty, and I'm gonna fluff this into my outer corner and deepen up this look just a little bit. So for that, I'm going to go in with a Sigma Beauty E24 brush. I also really like the little embossings in this palette. Like, it says Kiss down the side, it's got the lightning bolts, the stars, the planet. I mean, it's got all the things in it, and it's really cute. The color's laying down nicely. I'm not having any fallout, which is always nice, especially when you're playing with darker shades. That went on really easy, like very easy. I didn't have to work too hard to build it up. That looks nice. Okay, let's do, I want to do this shade right here on my lower lash line. This is called Shout It Out Loud. And so for that, I'm going to pick up, what is it, a Sigma E05 brush. And we're gonna fluff this onto the lower lash line. I love that we have a mix of like cool tone purples and warm tone purples. And I feel like this color story just encapsulates the band perfectly. I'm excited about this one. Okay, that looks nice. Let's play with a shimmer. So do I want to keep this a monochromatic purple eye look, or do we want to throw on a little something else? I think we're gonna stick with the purples. I wanna play with these two here because they look very, very similar. I will say there's a lot of shades in here that look really close to one another, so I'm kind of hoping that once they get on the eye that there's a lot more difference, but I want to play with these two right here. So that is Stole Your Love and Love Gun, but we're going to go ahead and start with Love Gun, which is this shade right here. I'm going to throw on a little bit of NYX glitter glue on my lid, and then we're going to pop on some shimmer. Okay, so I changed my mind and I want to actually start with this one right here, which is called Stole Your Love. So I'm gonna pick that up on my finger and we're going to pop this onto my lid. Yeah, this is very soft. This is reflective. That is a pretty shade. It's not the punchiest of shimmers, especially from Glamlite, but it is pretty. It does look nice on the lid. It's smooth. It wasn't hard to pick up. It's not going on funky, and I'm not having any fallout. But I like that. That looks pretty. Okay, now let's go into the Love Gun shade, which is the other purple shimmer. Yeah, this one is definitely more on like the more violet side, and we're just gonna pop this right where that shimmer meets that matte. Gives me that seamless transition. That looks nice. Okay. For the inner corner, we're gonna go in with the only appropriate shade in the palette, which is this one right here, and it's called the Spaceman. So I'm going to pick this up with a, where are you? Where's my brush? Here it is. I'm going to pick this up with a Morphe M421 and I'm going to spray it with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and we're going to pop this into my inner corner. Oh, that's pretty. That's almost got like a shift to it. It kind of takes on the shade of whatever color it's next to. That's fun. I enjoy that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this look, and then we will come back and do our second look. Okay, so this is going to complete the first look, and I like the way this turned out. I love the purples in this palette. I think they look beautiful. They do all perform and look differently on the lid, so I do love that. But let me go ahead and show you what I used to finish off this look. So for my waterline, I went in with one of the ColourPop multi-chrome eyeliners, and I believe this is acting up. It's starting to rub off, but I believe this is acting up. And then for my lid, I went in with my Glamlite Calligrapher liner, and then for mascara, I went in with the YSL Lash Clash. This is not a new to me mascara. I got a sample of this whenever I got the YSL bronzer, so I thought I would go ahead and bust her out and use that. And then I also threw on a cheek and a lip. So for my blush, I went in with one of the House Labs blushes. This is in Watermelon Bliss. I did pick up a couple of the new ones, and these are tiny. Like, these are itty bitty, but the formula seems to perform the same. But this is what I threw on my cheeks. And then for my lips, I went in with the Betty Boop X Glamlite liner and lipstick to go with this look. But let's go ahead and jump into our second look with this palette. So I think what I want to do, ooh, hello. I think what I want to do for this look, I want to play with this down here. I really want to play with this deep, like, it's like a burgundy shade. It almost looks like a brown, like insert it in lighting, but it's definitely a burgundy, and I want to play with this red and this black. I want to create like a deep, dark, smoky look. So I think what we're gonna do is we are going to go ahead and we're gonna start with this shade right here, which is called Love It Loud. And I am going to pick this up with a, where's the brush? With a Game Beauty EO2, and I am going to just pack this onto the outer corner of my lid, keeping it very tight and not taking it out too much. That's pretty. It almost looks a little bit more on the purple side than the red side. Like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more red, but that's okay. Okay, so I went ahead and brought that all the way into my inner corner. This performed really nicely. It packed on beautifully. I didn't get any fallout with it, and I really enjoy this shade. But I want to fluff this out with the shade down here, this red shade called Demon, which, how absolutely appropriate. I want to fluff this out and give like a nice gradient, have a little bit of that brightness. So I'm just going to go into that shade with a Singe Beauty EO2 brush, tap her off, and I am very lightly going to fluff this along the edge. And then after I fluff it on and have the color where I want it, I can go back and kind of pack it to give that full impact. Okay, so now that I have that perfect gradient that I want, I'm not concerned about this because I am going to be putting on a shimmer on my lid, but I want to go ahead and pop on my lower lash line. I want to go in with this black shade. So what I want to do is I want to tightline my lower lash line, and then I want to take this shade right here, which is called Axe, and kind of fluff it underneath there. So we're going to start with Black Diamond, and then we're going to go into Axe. All right, so for this, I am going to go in with a Singe Beauty EO7 brush. I'm going to pick up that shade Black Diamond on just like the tip of this brush, and I'm going to tightline right along my lower lash line. Okay, so now with a Sigma E33 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Axe, And I am going to just kind of fluff this along underneath that black. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put some shimmer on this lid. I did already go in with my NYX glitter glue, so I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. This is called Firehouse, and I'm gonna pop that right in the center of my lid. Ooh, that is a gorgeous shade. That's pretty. That's a lot of fun. Okay, let's go ahead and pop a little bit of that white shade called Spaceman into our inner corner, just because it's really the only inner quarter shade in here, but I want to see how this behaves up against these more like red shades. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this look, and I will come back and show you the completed look number 2. Okay, so this is going to complete the second look with this palette. What do we think? This is dark, this is smoky, but this is like so pretty. I love that shimmer shade that I used on my lid. I think it's beautiful. Let me show you what I used to finish off this look. So I went in with the same liquid liner and mascara as I did on the other side. And then for my waterline, I just went in with a black liner. This one is from Kylie Cosmetics in the shade Matte Black. Just to complete the look, keep everything dark, smoky, deep, but I love it. So far, I am really enjoying this palette. I'm excited to create 2 more looks with it and to continue to play with it, but I am going to remove both of these, and we're gonna come back and create 2 more looks, and we're gonna use the 2 eyeshadow bases that came with this collection as well. So let me go ahead and take this off and we'll carry on. Okay, let's go ahead and create our next 2 looks. So for the first look, I want to start with this black eyeshadow base right here. I want to kind of put this all over my lid and kind of lightly fluff it up a little bit and then play with some other shades. So I think I'm going to pick up an Unearthly UC8-17, and I'm going to just put a little bit of this on this brush. Okay, this is, sorry, you couldn't see that. Sorry, this is a little like thick but liquidy at the same time. And we're going to put this all over my lid. I'm gonna kind of carve out my lid with this. If I need to pack more on, I can do that. Okay, let's put on a little bit more. So it's not super opaque, but it is just a base. So I don't think that this is anything that you can use to make like a winged liner or anything like that, but it does have a nice tack to it. So I'm just going to fluff this up a little bit and kind of create my shape, basically, is what I want to do. Okay, so now that I have that base down, I want to go ahead, I want to play with these blues. So I think the first thing that I want to do is take this shade right here, which is called Dress to Kill, and I want to kind of fluff that along the edge of this black, and then go in with this next blue called Shock Me and kind of basically create like a blown out like an ombre effect on my lid. Gosh, I couldn't think of the words. And then we're gonna pack one of these shimmers all over that black base and see what it does. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start with a Morphe M453, and I'm just gonna pick up that shade called Dress to Kill, and I am very lightly going to pack this along that edge. I'm not going in crazy. I am going very lightly. And I am more so packing than I am, what's the word? Like swiping. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with that other blue shade called Shock Me, and this is a Morphe M506 brush. I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to put this shade along the edge of that dark blue. See if we can get a little bit of like a gradient ombre effect. That looks pretty. I love the way that is turning out. I'm going to take that same shade with the same brush, and I want to put this on my lower lash line, fluffing it out, kind of giving a nice blown out look. I'm not tight lining, I'm not keeping it like really close in, I am just fluffing it under here. Okay, let's pop some shimmer on my lid. This base does feel sticky, so I'm not going to go over it with any glimmer or glitter primer. But I want to play with this one right here. This one is called Detroit Rock City. So I'm going to pick that up with my finger and I'm going to pat this all over the lid. Wow, that's really pretty. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my Morphe M421 and we're going to pick up that same white shimmer shade, which is called the Spaceman, and I'm going to pop this into my inner corner just to give a little bit of lightness and brightness. I am going to spray this with my MAC Fix Plus, and let's see what this does. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish up this eye look and I will be back to show you the third completed look. Okay, so this completes the third look and I really like this. I think it's pretty. Again, it's dark, it's smoky, it's blue. That light blue shade is almost like a denim blue, but I like the way that this shimmer looks over the black base. But for this look, all I went in to finish it off with was my same liquid liner and mascara that I used in the two previous looks. And then for my waterline, I went in with the Give eyeliner in Bath Water, and I love it. Dark, smoky, again, that's the whole vibe of this palette. But we're gonna see if we can do something a little bit like brighter and not quite as deep and smoky, and we're gonna play with the white eyeshadow paste with this next look. But I'm gonna use this more for like a cut crease look. So let's go ahead. Actually, I'm going to prime my eye for this one. I'm gonna go in with my Sigma eyeshadow base just so I have something for these shades to stick to. And then, like I said, we'll use the white base as like a cut crease moment. Okay, so now that my eye is primed, we're gonna play with a little bit of these greens. So I think what I wanna do is I wanna keep this one a little on the simple side, and I just wanna pop this one into into my crease and kind of do like a halo cut crease eye with this one. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with this shade, and then we'll cut the crease and we'll put a shimmer on it. So I'm gonna go in with a Singe Beauty EO3 brush into that green shade called Kiss, and I am going to fluff this all in my crease. I'm going to bring it up, I'm gonna bring it into my inner corner. This one has more kick up in the pan than any of the other shades, but I'm still not having any fallout on like my face. I'm gonna take that same shade and I'm gonna wrap it around my lower lash line as well. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and I want to take the white base and I'm going to go in with another one of those unearthly brushes, and basically I am just going to cut my crease with this. See how this does with that. And I'm also going to put a little bit just right on my lower lash line, right in the middle, just so we have like the same effect. Okay, we're looking a little crazy, but we're gonna trust the process on this one. So we're gonna go ahead and grab from our palette, we're gonna grab this green shade right here, which is called Alive, and I'm going to pick that up with my finger and we're going to pop this over the white base. Okay, so this is what we're looking like. I don't know about this white base too much. I feel like it kind of patched up my shimmer, and I didn't have that issue with the black, but if you can see, it just looks, it doesn't look very smooth on my lid, so I don't know about that. I feel like I'm gonna have to play around with it more, but I'm not a fan of that. So let's see if we can save this look just a little bit. So we're gonna go in, I'm gonna pick up Spaceman on my finger and we're gonna tap this over top and see if we can kind of redeem this look a little bit, because yeah, okay, that's definitely helping. So I don't know if it was the green shimmer shade that I used, the shade Alive, or if it was the base, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of the way that this eye is looking. I'm also having a little bit of patching with that green as well. It's not going on as smooth as the other shades. Like you can see, it's just not, like these look very seamless and pretty. Every other shade I have used has, and I'm just not a big fan of the way that this is turning out on this eye. But you know, I will continue to play with it. I will play with it with my normal base, although that green did go over my normal Sigma eyeshadow base. But this is what we're looking like. Let me go ahead and throw a little bit on under here of the shade Spaceman, and we're gonna put a little bit in the inner corner as well. I'm just gonna use my pinky for this. I feel like it's kind of the best at this point. Okay, let me go ahead and finish up this look. I will come back to show you the completed fourth look with this palette, and then we will go over all of my final thoughts thus far with this palette and just chat about it a little bit. Alright y'all, so this is going to complete the fourth look using this palette, and I do feel like that shade, the Spaceman, did come in clutch and save this look. But let me show you what I used to finish up this look. So I did go in with my same liquid liner and mascara that I have used for every other look in this video, and then for my waterline I went in with a Give liner in Greener Pastures, and this is what we are looking like. So we have created 4 looks using this palette. We've used everything that I picked up, but let's go ahead and chat about this. Alright, so let's go ahead and chat about this collection a little bit because I have some thoughts. Let's start with the eyeshadow palette. So the eyeshadow palette, we did use 16 of the 20 shades out of this palette, and every single shade performed beautifully except for this green right here and this shimmer shade as well. So the shades Alive and Kiss. But like I said, I'm not sure if that's the actual shades themselves. It's the white base. I don't know, because I didn't have that issue with any other shades in this palette. I don't normally have an issue with Glamlite eyeshadows either. So I'm gonna have to keep playing with it to find out, but I do really love the color story in here. I like it. I think it embodies the band perfectly. I love that we have some like pops of red and purple, but then we have like these dark grungy greens. This shade right here, which is called Love It Loud, is absolutely beautiful. I really enjoyed it. This blue as well is just an absolutely beautiful deep dark blue. I like the shimmers. I like this shade, the Spaceman. I think it's probably one of my favorites in the palette. It's just so shimmery and like shifty and ethereal, and it looks beautiful. It, like I said, it came in clutch and it saved this eyeshadow look. But so far I'm enjoying this palette. I just need to play with these greens a little bit more and see if it's, like I said, the actual eyeshadow or if it's the base. But yeah, I like what they did with this palette. I think that they did a really good job with the theming, with the packaging, with all of it, and I think this is beautiful. But let's talk about the eyeshadow bases, because these are really cool. I think that bringing these into this collection was perfect because, you know, they're known for their black and white face makeup, but I will say that whenever I use the black one, it wasn't very opaque, and I don't know if I'm supposed to I'm afraid if I build this up too much, it's going to be heavy and it's going to be cakey. So it worked really well as a base. I did really like the way that it performed over here. I didn't have any issues with putting the shades on over it, but it wasn't very opaque. So if you're planning on using this to create like designs and liners and stuff around your eye look, I don't think that this is going to be the best for that, because it's not super pigmented. But let's talk about the white one, because this one so far I am not impressed with. It did go on a lot nicer and more opaque than the black one, but just from the experience with the look that I created, the shadow did not go over it very nicely. It kind of patched up with the green shimmer shade that I put on over it, and it just didn't look too good until I put on the Spaceman, and that kind of saved the entire look. But these do have a nice tack to them. So I like that. They are a really good like shimmer base if that's what you're going for. I do like the way that I was able to cut the crease with this. I just don't know about performance. Like I said, I need to keep testing it and see if maybe it was just a combination of everything on my lid. Maybe it was, you know, the Sigma eyeshadow base with that particular primer. Maybe it was a Sigma eyeshadow base and the Kiss eyeshadow base. Maybe I should have used this like I used the black one over here. I don't know. I will keep testing it out, but my first impression is these are not my favorite. I do enjoy my Danessa Myricks Color Fix Matte in Lift. I enjoy that one, and then I really also like my Melt Pot Gel Liner for like a black base as well. So as of now, I'm not a fan of these. They're not my favorite. The black one did its job, but it's not very opaque. The white one I'm not happy with. The palette I think is beautiful. I am really enjoying it. I just need to test out that green. But at this point, I'm sounding like a broken record. So that is all I have. I want to hear from y'all. I want you to let me know which of these looks was your favorite. Did you like any of these looks? What do you think of this collection? What do you think of the palette? Glamlite does a lot of darker shades in their palettes, and I always have to use it as a companion palette. I usually do bring in some palettes that have some lighter shades in it, usually pastels, just because I prefer a little bit more gradient in my looks. I prefer something a little lighter. I don't go for a smoky eye very often, but this was fun to create all of these looks. I really enjoyed them. I think the second look is my favorite. Personally, that red look was just absolutely beautiful. I felt very beautiful in it and I liked it. But like I said, I want to hear from y'all. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Light up that comment box. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It means so much to me. And if you like this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel, because I do post quite a few videos every single week, most days if not every single day, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.